Let me ask you something. What if, right now, your phone was secretly taking photos of you? Sending them along with all your private messages and your exact location to a complete stranger, someone who's been watching your every move for weeks. And here's the really terrifying part. You would have absolutely no idea it was happening. Now, this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. It is a very, very real threat. And that's what we're digging into today. Android's invisible spies. We're going to look at how these attacks actually work, how our phones have gotten so much smarter at fighting back, and, most importantly, what you can do to protect yourself. All right, let's just dive right in. The threat we're talking about goes by a simple name, a RAT, and it's a pretty fitting name for something that can turn your phone, the device that's with you 24/7, into a spy in your own pocket. So a RAT, or a remote access tool, it's not like your average computer virus that just, makes things run a little slow. No, this is on a whole other level. It's malware that's literally designed to give an attacker total surveillance and control over your device, almost as if they were standing right there, holding it in their hands. And when I say total control, I really, really mean it. An attacker can just silently switch on your camera and your microphone. They can read every single text message you send and receive. They can track your GPS location in real time, scroll through all your personal photos, look through your files. They can even send messages from your phone, pretending to be you to your friends and family. It's wild. And as you can imagine, the impact goes way beyond just losing some data. The psychological toll is just immense. I mean, think about it. Discovering your most private, unguarded moments have been watched by a stranger? It just creates this profound sense of violation, of paranoia. It's a fundamental breach of your personal safety. So how in the world does something this dangerous even get created? Well, let's kind of step behind the curtain into a hacker's virtual lab to understand the process. We're going to look at how this is done in a controlled educational setting, for security research. It really boils down to just a few key steps. First, an attacker sets up some virtual phones to test on. Then they get the RAT software ready and use that to build a malicious app. But here's the final and most critical step. They have to figure out how to disguise it so that you, the victim, will actually install it willingly. And that's the moment the theoretical danger becomes a real-world threat. And this part is just brilliantly devious. They often disguise the malicious app to look like some kind of critical system component, right? Something like Google Play Service. You see that name, you see that icon, and you just assume, oh, that must be important. You don't question it. And boom, that's how it slips right past your natural defenses. Okay, so that's the scary part. But here's the thing. While these threats are out there, our devices haven't exactly been standing still. Android's defenses have evolved dramatically. Let's really see this in action by comparing an old phone to a new one, a tale of two phones, if you will. Now, here's the really alarming part. On an older device, let's say one running Android 9, this malicious app we're talking about, it just installs automatically. You drag it over, and that's it. There are no pop-ups, no permission requests, not a single warning. It's just on your phone, silently. And the difference this makes is, well, it's night and day. On that older Android version, the spy app basically gets a free pass to do whatever it wants. But on a modern device, the system blocks it before it can even finish installing. And even if it somehow got through, it would be forced to ask for your permission for everything, one by one. Plus, its ability to just run silently in the background would be hugely restricted. And this chart just perfectly illustrates the result of all those changes. The risk of getting hit with this specific kind of rat infection has absolutely plummeted. It shows that those constant security updates from Google have made a real, tangible, dramatic difference in protecting us. You can really see this cat and mouse game playing out on the timeline. After Android 9's vulnerabilities were exposed, Android 10 threw up a huge wall with mandatory permissions, forcing these malicious apps out of the shadows. So, attackers adapted, trying to have apps run silently in the background. So then, versions 11 through 13 cracked down hard on that. And now Android 14 is basically playing offense, proactively identifying and blocking these threats. Security, you see, it's a journey, not a destination. So we've seen the threat. We've seen how our defenses have gotten better. Now let's get to the most important part. What can you do right now to build your own digital defense plan and really take control of your privacy? The good news is you don't have to be a security expert to do this. Really, your best defense is just knowledge. Developing a few simple, smart habits can make a massive difference in protecting your entire digital life. Let's start with your apps. Rule number 1, and this is the big one, only download from the official Google Play Store. Period. And just be a little suspicious about permissions. Ask yourself, does this simple calculator app really need access to my contacts and my microphone? Probably not. It's also just good hygiene to clean house every so often. If you're not using an app, just get rid of it. And this should go without saying, but never ever install anything from a weird link you get in an email or a text. Now, beyond just your apps, let's think about the phone itself. Those security updates we just talked about, they are your absolute best friend, so always keep your operating system up to date. A good mobile security app can add a nice extra layer of protection. And just keep an eye out for strange behavior, like if your battery starts draining way faster than normal. And of course, the simplest thing of all, lock your screen. It's your first and easiest line of defense. Look, if you only remember one single thing from all of this, let it be this number, 1. That is how many app stores you should ever use. Just stick to the official Google Play Store, and you will automatically avoid the vast, vast majority of these threats. It's that simple. At the end of the day, it really just comes down to this. Your phone is basically a vault. It contains your most personal data, your private conversations, your memories. Making its protection your absolute highest digital security priority, that's not being paranoid. In the world we live in, it's just common sense. We've seen that the threats are always changing, always evolving. But hey, so are our defenses. So the final question, the thought I want to leave you with, is this. Is your own digital security keeping up with